Dom Mariani, welcome to Australian Musician.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You got this great new album out, Apple of Life. Tell me about the title song and why that track was so important that you named the album after it.
Well, it's a song, it's been around for a little while, probably a good 6 or 7 years I've had it. And, I'd always wanted to do a solo record, I guess, with the songs I'd sort of accumulated over a period of time. It just seems like the obvious title. It sounded the best out of all I usually name albums after one of the songs on the album. So that one seemed like the one that sounded the best to me. And it kind of encompasses a lot of the things that some of the songs on the album, pretty much introspective type things. And yeah, I think it's sort of the title itself kind of covers a lot of the themes.
Yeah. You've been so busy with so many different bands. Is that why it's taken so long to come to your second solo album?
Pretty much, yeah. As you probably know, the stems and Someloves and DM3. I did those for quite a while, the sort of guitar pop thing. And I took a little turn with the Majestic Kelp, which was an instrumental thing that um, took in a couple of albums when that finally got off the ground. And then Datura 4 came about, which was to start with was just a fun band, and then we did an album, and then two albums, three albums, so it's into its sixth album now. So I kind of needed to get away from the guitar pop thing for a little while, but obviously those influences are still there with my writing. It's always melodic and trying to find good hooks and riffs and stuff like that. But I'd accumulated these songs that didn't really fit the Datura 4 format, which is more of a blues sort of psychedelic rock band, hard rock. And I did have the idea of putting these on a solo album, and it did take quite a while. So yeah, it's probably a 10-year thing that I had songs and sort of narrowed it down to the ones that appear on the album. And then the recording process itself was over about 3.5 years. So yeah, it was quite a long period.
Who have you got playing on the album?
Well, I've got Joe Grech, who plays bass, and he engineered some of the recordings, and he does some vocals. He's from Datura 4, also plays with local guy Timothy Nelson here, and occasionally fills in for Kim Salmon when he comes over. Tony Italiano, who was in DM3 and also played on the Someloves album. He helped with a bit of the recording. He's played a little bit of bass. Luke Dux on pedal steel from The Floors and Kill Devil Hills, and a drummer by the name of Sal Di Cresciuto, who plays in a band called End of Fashion here.
Yeah. Apart from the pop rock melodies on the album, there's also a bit of a country influence. Uh,
Yeah.
who are the country artists that have been an influence on you?
Oh, look, I guess from the early days of, listening to the Birds, and how they kind of, went from the sort of electric folk rock thing to the Sweetheart of the Rodeo and beyond that. That kind of started it. But then, things like the Burrito Brothers, even the Eagles, and more of those kind of West Coast sort of country rock acts. But through that, I've got to get into people like George Jones and what have you, Johnny Cash, obviously, Willie Nelson, and yeah, I have a bit of a love for that kind of music as well.
Yeah. 11 tracks on the album. I imagine there were many more you were tweaking with or considering.
Yeah, there was maybe 16 at the end of the day. And yeah, I started, I think I put down 15 beds in the end. And as it progressed, I kind of had to cut my losses with a few and just sort of concentrate on the ones I thought were going to, you know, probably be more worthwhile, I guess, when, trying to finish them off.
Yeah. Do you think the way you create records has changed much over the years? Are you sort of full on into the digital world now?
Oh, look, I use it a bit. Obviously, it's you can't really avoid it. Everyone seems to be doing it. I like to record live where I can, pretty much, and get the beds down, like drums. If I can get like a bass and guitar down at the same time, that's really good. But yeah, after that, it's just sort of overdubbing and working in a small studio suite, Pro Tools.
Yeah. We spoke about the country influences. You're known for your melodic pop rock. Um, was there one particular song that you heard that sent you down that road in the first place?
Oh, there's many. But one that really stands out's Go All the Way by the Raspberries.
Yeah.
I always thought that when I heard that song when I was, what, 14, 13, 14, yeah, that really stuck out for me. It was kind of like the Beatles meets The Who or Free or something. It sort of had a heaviness to it, but also had the great sort of harmonies and vocals and very sort of Beatlesque.
Yeah. Well, what was your first real guitar?
My first real guitar,
Yeah, professional.
uh, Fender Mustang.
Okay.
Yeah, Fender Mustang. Before that, I had a sort of cheap copy. I guess it looked a bit like a Telecaster.
Yeah.
Dad bought it for me. It was $49.
Okay.
But the Fender Mustang I had my heart set on this Fender Mustang. And yeah, Dad sort of paid for that one as well.
Yeah, you still got that one?
No, I wish I did though. Yeah, bought it brand new.
Yeah. It seems that many guitarists I've interviewed over the years tell me when they're over your way that they borrow guitars from you. Do you have a large collection of guitars and do they give them back?
It's not too bad. It's decent over the years. Like up until a certain point, I only had like two or three guitars. Um, and when I went back and did the day job thing, I had a bit more money to indulge myself in various guitars. Yeah, look, I hope they give them back. Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brain now whether I've got any outstanding because I've sort of lost track of a few over the years. But yeah, I don't mind borrowing them. Like if I can't play more than one guitar at one time, so I don't mind if other people want to use them.
Yeah, I think
I,
Ash Naylor was the last one that told me he had one of yours, I think.
Yeah, when he comes across, he uses my 12 string. I've got a Dan Electro 12. He uses that, and yeah, whatever else he wants to use, acoustic guitars that are lying around here. So he comes over and he stays with us when he tours with the stems.
Yeah. So what are the main guitars you use on this album?
Well, mostly a Stratocaster, actually, a new one, and then I've got a Les Paul Special, which I use, and an SG. And occasionally I'll pull out Les Paul or something like that. And then acoustic guitar wise, I've got a Gibson Gospel, which I use, and a Maton. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like to record your guitars?
Oh, look, I like to amp it up. Yeah. So two microphones on the speakers, and maybe one sort of somewhere in the room, just to catch a bit of ambience, depending on how I want the guitar to sound in the final mix. Whether I want it to be up front or have a little bit more, I guess, atmosphere to it.
Yeah. One of my favorite songs on the album is Sad State of Affairs.
Oh, yeah.
What's the great guitar effect on that one?
Well, well, yeah. That's my electric sitar.
Right.
Jerry Jones electric sitar. Many years ago, when I was recording the Someloves album, I happened to notice that Mitch Easter, the producer, Mitch Easter, he might be know that he was involved in the early REM records, and he had this electric sitar, an original one, a little baby sitar it was called, and yeah, we discussed bands like the Box Tops and bands like that. They had those great singles with the electric sitar sort of melody lines, and we used it on a song called Sunshine's Glove, and a couple of other places. So I was always wanting to find one. Very, very hard to find until Jerry Jones, they reissued them. And well, it's been probably a good 20 years now, maybe a little bit less, but yeah, found one and I bought one. I've used it a fair bit over the years, just in recordings.
So there's no effect on
No,
top.
no, it's just that straight through an amp. It has like a sort of ebony sort of plate, like a timber plate near the bridge, which creates that sort of buzzy sound,
No.
like a sitar.
And what amp do you play it through? I imagine you couldn't use like anything with that guitar.
Well, usually Fender, yeah, Fender amp, like a deluxe reverb or a Vox AC30 I used on the album. And for the more beefier guitar sounds, I used a Marshall, an old Marshall that I have, a JMP 50. Yeah, so they're the three amps that I used.
Are you fussy with your guitar takes? Do you do many?
Yeah, look, I'm guilty of that. I like to, I always find that the first couple are the best. And if I try and patch anything up or try and do it again, it's like I've lost it now.
Yeah.
Uh, and I try to be spontaneous too. Like some of the songs obviously have got guitar lines that have been worked out, and I overlaid some with sort of harmonies and stuff. Some of the more kind of, uh, I guess, more the improvisational kind of songs, like where I'm doing a solo. Yeah, I'll just do that off the cuff. I'll have an idea of where I'm going to start and where I'm going to go and where I'm going to finish, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's a good one.
What's the guitar that sits by the couch when inspiration strikes?
It's this one here. It's a 70s, like it's almost like a parlor guitar. It's a Yamaha FG75
Okay.
steel string. Yeah, this sits next to my computer, and I pick it up and you know play a few chords, and sometimes inspiration strikes.
A lot of songs have come out of that guitar.
Yeah, quite a few. Yeah, quite a few. Yeah, I'm a morning guy. I'll pick up the guitar and sort of muck around on a couple of things, and then if I stumble upon a riff or a melody, I'll quickly record it on the iPhone and maybe revisit it, see if it goes anywhere.
Yeah. You're a classic pop rock guy. If you could design a signature Dom Mariani pedal, what would it do and what would it be called?
Oh, um, I like, I do like my fuzz and I do like my distortion. So yeah, it would be something that, would boost the guitar. Maybe just call it the Dom, you know.
There you go. Pedal companies out there listening. If I said to you, you could go back in time and join any band in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, it's a good one. Well, I have many favorite bands. Like there's the obvious ones, but I don't want to cite those, but cool band. Oh, let me think. I like to kind of jam a bit, on the guitar, and I like blues and sort of guitar rocking stuff. So I like sort of Alice Cooper's band and bands like that, that sort of had the sort of twin guitar players, Thin Lizzy, that kind of thing. Badfinger I like a lot. Pretty much 70s, more the sort of early to sort of mid 70s bands.
Yeah. You mentioned Go All the Way by the Raspberries
Yeah.
before. Would that be the most perfect pop song to you,
Oh,
or are there better?
look, there's many. Yeah, that's pretty good, that one. I Saw the Light by Todd Rundgren. I marvel at that song when I hear that. Um, Baby Blue by Badfinger is a great pop song. Then you can go into kind of soul territory, and Across 110th Street by Bobby Womack, kind of blows my mind when I hear that song. even Stand By Me, by Benny King is just a stripped back song, but it's just so amazing and powerful. Great recording.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
it's a
there a
lot of stuff.
is there a track off Apple of Life that's closer to your heart than others?
Well, you mentioned the song that I really, probably my favorite song on the album, Sad State of Affairs. Again, that's a pretty old song. It's taken a bit of a journey from the original, I guess, arrangement that I had. I was playing it for a little while and then stopped playing it. And yeah, when it came time to record the album, it was there. And the electric sitar line, when that came to me, that really brought the song alive because it has a bit of I guess, a soul kind of groove to that song, with the pop, sort of aesthetic. So I do like that song a lot. That one there's, yeah, probably one of the favorites I have. I like Jangle Land. Again, that was the 12-string guitar soloing against the pedal steel. That was off the cuff. And I really like when you do something and, you've just sort of jammed along and played it without sort of thinking about it too much. It just comes naturally. And then you sit back and you go, wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, let's stick with that one. So that one there, that came up pretty well. Song Apple of Life and Breakaway, I like that one too.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy with the way the album came out in the end.
Yeah. Is it difficult to say the album's done and to let it go?
Oh yeah, definitely it is. Like this album took a few tweaks before we got it right. So we mixed it and, I hung around. Well, I had to do stems touring and other things. So left it, came back, listened to it again with sort of fresh ears and then realized, what might have been wrong with that song, why it wasn't quite, sort of clicking for some reason, or it needed something else. And then, yeah, finally we got to the end point where I don't think we could take it any further now. I think it's right and let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any intention to take this album on the road?
Yeah, look, next year I'm doing some shows. I'm doing some local ones in support of the record. Then I'm heading off to Europe in April. And beyond that, I haven't really thought about it too much, but I'll probably come east to do some shows. I'm sort of doing a band and a solo thing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's got what I've got coming up next year, I guess, for the first half anyway.
Yeah. All right, Dom, it's been great to chat. It's a great
No
album,
worries.
and I hope to
Thank you.
hear it live in Melbourne one day.
No worries. Thanks very much.